Hey everybody, Austin here. Going to be doing a pinball tutorial, live tutorial on Avatar, a Stern pinball machine from 2010. This is actually the second time I'm doing this. Apparently the first go around I completely had my microphone disabled. Oops. I don't think anybody's actually watching on Twitch now, but for those of you guys watching on YouTube, I'd like to say welcome to the video. What I'm going to do is actually talk about Avatar, go through all the rules and so forth on the playfield, and then play a couple of games for you guys and talk about how things work in the game. Avatar is actually a really difficult Stern game. It's a very challenging game. You've got lots of tight shots in the playfield, and you've got these really big outlanes. You've got also the infamous sort of gated outlanes, wire form outlanes, sorry, on the end. So you can get a lot of bad drains there. Avatar is just a really challenging game. If you're new to this game, and if you're sort of like a new player, I would recommend bringing your outlane posts down and sort of blocking off the outlanes a little bit, because Avatar can be a brutal game. I've actually got my outlanes in the medium position, which is sort of default stock settings, and that's usually how I like to play my games. You can actually raise the posts up higher. I probably wouldn't really recommend that even for the most skilled players out there, just because it's a draining game to begin with. If you break a shot, which is going to happen a lot on this game, the ball's in danger a lot on Avatar. It's also, despite it being a very difficult game, it's not really that deep of a game. It's probably one of the more shallow Stern games I've played. Although it's not really shallow so much in a bad way. You can stack a lot of modes with each other in Avatar, which is great. So you can actually bring 3 or 4 different modes into a single multi-ball, and then bring another multi-ball into that. So all these modes down here, you see, you can actually start all of them at once and stack them all on top of each other, which is really nice. A lot of earlier Sterns, you couldn't really do that. And so despite Avatar not being as complex as something like Lord of the Rings or even Iron Man or even Rolling Stones, it is still really satisfying to really get things going in this game, and it's still a really solid game. So let's go over all the modes and so forth, and sort of go over the playfield features before I actually start playing. So the big thing in Avatar is these modes sort of down here. Starting from the left, you've got Navi, you've got Banshee, Link, Amp, Valkyrie, and Seeds. Navi is activated by hitting these stand-up targets on the left. Hitting all 4 stand-up targets, then hitting it a 5th time will activate a hurry-up mode where you have to hit all 7 shots in the playfield. If you can do that, the next time you activate the Navi targets, it'll start Navi multi-ball, and that's how you light your insert here. Banshee, the next one over, is your ramp. So by shooting the ramp a bunch of times, you'll start the Banshee mode. Link, the next one over, is also the next shot over. So right next to the Banshee ramp is the Link shot. You hit the ball up there, activate it, it'll capture it, and then you can pump another ball into that to start Link multi-ball. Amp is the next one over. That's the Amp suit up here. You've got this stand-up target, which is actually really cool, kind of reminiscent of the visor in Pinbot or the bank in Spider-Man, and you have to hit it to knock it down. There's a roving shot, roving blinking light. If you hit that blinking light, you can knock it down in 1 shot versus having to hit it 3 times. Once that's down, you pound on the bullseye target or the sort of construction looking targets to work towards lighting Amp suit multi-ball, and then you hit the bullseye 1 more time to start that multi-ball. Ball will come down, a magnet will grab it. It's a really cool effect, pretty good light show if you let it play out. The next one over is Valkyrie. Valkyrie is activated by hitting the orbits. You progress towards it by hitting the orbits, much like progressing towards Wolfman in Monster Bash or World Tour on Rolling Stones. Activated pretty much the same way. Seeds, our final mode over here, is the stand-up targets on the right. You have to hit the stand-up targets a few times to activate the mode. And then it's a fast-scoring switch-based mode. So you have to hit 100 switch hits in 15 or 20 seconds or something like that to complete the mode and get it flashing. Every time you start a mode, the inserts down here will actually light. If you can just light up all the inserts, you can qualify for the final battle, which is the big wizard mode in the game. If you drain without actually completing the modes, however, the lights will go out and you'll have to reactivate the modes again on your next ball in order to get these inserts lit. If you're trying to play for the final battle, you really want to be trying to complete your modes. So if you activate Seeds, the fast scoring mode, you might want to bring that into a multi-ball. Or if you're going to try to complete it in single ball play, get control of the ball and hit the spinners. Hitting the spinners, especially the left orbit, because it'll loop all the way around and hit both spinners, is the fastest way to complete, say, Seeds. Modes like Banshee, you can complete in single ball play without too much of an issue. You just have to hit the ramp 5 times, and then your insert here will start flashing for completion. Valkyrie, a little bit harder in single ball play. You need like 10 or 15 shots on the orbits and the side targets to complete Valkyrie. You really want to bring that into a multi-ball if you want to try to complete that. Link and Amp Suit, to complete those and get those flashing, you need to hit a certain amount of jackpots in each multi-ball and then collect the super jackpot. The super is always lit on, you know, the respective multi-ball start shot, so if you're an Amp Suit, you're going to need to hit the Amp Suit up there twice to collect both super jackpots to get your insert flashing. For Link, you need to hit the Link twice, again, just like Amp Suit, to get your Link insert flashing. Navi multi-ball, if you plan on getting that insert flashing, you need to actually complete Navi multi-ball. Not just get to it, but you need to actually finish it. Which Navi multi-ball, you have to hit all 7 shots, and then you have to hit this side target bang 4 times to actually complete it. Very challenging. I wouldn't recommend really trying to complete Navi multi-ball. I would just focus on getting all your other modes done, getting the Navi multi-ball to light your insert here, and then once you come out of Navi multi-ball, your final battle will be lit. So before I talk about the final battle, let's talk about some other features in the playfield. So the top lanes up here, you've got RDA. Those are your 3 typical top lanes that you've got on a lot of pinball machines. Completing those builds your bonus end-of-ball bonus multiplier, but it also lights a playfield multiplier, lane multiplier, and yeah, all these will be lit. When you get control of the ball, you can hit a shot and to solidify a 2x multiplier on that shot for the rest of your ball. If you manage to get all the multipliers lit, the last multiplier you'll get will activate a roving 3-time shot. So all your green multipliers will be solidly lit, except for a blinking one that keeps bouncing across the playfield. It's a roving shot. Very good to know, especially if you can bring a 3x into Final Battle, which is the biggest scoring mode in the game. You've got these in lanes here listed as the Bond. And if you complete all 3 in lanes, you light a hurry up on the opposite side of the playfield. So if I complete all 3, with the last one being on the right in lane, it's going to light a hurry up randomly, I believe, from the unobtainium target over to the left orbit. If you complete it from the left, it's going to light it from the unobtainium target over to the right orbit. Not very big points, but it is something to keep in mind when you're playing the game. I think a lot of people that play Avatar don't even notice the hurry-ups when you complete the Bond. The Bond is worth 250,000 points if you get the hurry-up. If the lane's doubled, obviously that'll be times 2, so it'll be 500,000 points for that. So, not something you really go for, but if you're going to shoot the left orbit, or if you're planning on shooting the ramp anyway, and the hurry-up lands on that ramp or that orbit, something to keep in mind. It's going to be slightly extra points, so something to keep in mind when you activate those. Another feature is the unobtainium target up here, center stand-up target, and not really important in normal play. What it does is it lights the out lanes, and you'll get some small points for when you drain on the out lanes. I believe hitting it multiple times actually builds the value of the out lanes, but it's not really something you're going to want to go for in solo single ball play. It does have major significance in the Final Battle Wizard mode, however, and the unobtainium target is utilized for jackpots in certain modes. It's also used in the Navi Navi Hurry Up mode. If you complete all your hurry up shots, a permanent hurry up shot will be lit on the unobtainium target, and you can just bash on that to collect like 1,000,000 points over and over until the Navi Hurry Up mode ends. Alright, so the last thing to talk about really before I actually start playing the game is the AWA captive ball over here. Now, AWA is basically your typical mystery award that you see on many Stern games. Rolling Stones is a good example. AWOL acts like your mystery, where it'll add time to modes or it'll add a ball in multi-ball. However, lighting AWOL is different than it is in a lot of Stern games. It is switch-based. It's not target or lane-based or anything like that. It's switch-based. So, I think the threshold might be somewhere around maybe 100 switch hits or something like that. So when you qualify a certain amount of switch hits, AWOL will light. Now, what's interesting about AWOL is that whereas in most Stern games, it'll light, it'll stay lit, you collect it, and then you have to do something else to relight it again. It doesn't quite work like that on this game. You can actually build up multiple AWOL mystery awards and collect them one at a time. So you can actually, I've had maybe 4 or 5 built up and stacked before. So what I like to do is try not to collect the AWOL immediately, because if I can get them built up and stacked up, I can collect one and then it'll still be lit. And I can go and collect another one and then it'll still be lit and then collect another one. That's actually really important when you're in multi-ball, because unlike a lot of Stern games, the mystery award, you know, it's your add time and it's your add a ball. It actually prioritizes adding time over add a ball. So if you're in multi-ball and you've got modes going, your first AWOL captive ball hit's actually going to add time, and it's not going to give you that add a ball that you're probably dying for at that moment. So that's really important to keep in mind. You want to build up your AWOL captive ball rewards, and so when you're in that multi-ball, you add your time, and then the next one should add a ball. Or if it doesn't, it might give you points, and then the third one will add a ball. Sometimes it's kind of weird. Hitting the AWOL captive ball, collecting your awards, will randomly also light extra ball and special on the left ramp. These are very randomized awards, so if you're going to play Avatar in competitive play, if you're a tournament director and you're going to set it up for competitive play, turn those off. Do not allow them to award points, because it's truly randomized points. It just doesn't, it's randomized points, so disable those. If you're playing on location in solo play, you're playing for the GC or something like that, and you're an operator, I would leave them on personally. Obviously the specials, to give the player a free game, and then the extra ball, to give them another try. Avatar is a brutal game, so allowing players extra balls on location I think is really good. And, it's just such a... you get extra balls very infrequently on Avatar, unless you have a really good game and you're pounding that AWOL captive ball target and collecting those mystery awards. I've tested it a bunch of times. There really is no rhythm or rhyme to it from what I can tell. Unlike, say, Rolling Stones, where every fourth, or your fourth VIP target bank, mystery bank, lights extra ball, then the fifth lights special. Doesn't really work like that on Avatar, unfortunately. So competitive play, leave it disabled, no points for it. And location play, I would probably leave it on, just because it is a pretty damn good feeling actually finally seeing that extra ball light come on and collecting it. So that's basically it. I'm going to go ahead and just start playing a couple of games. I hope you guys can actually hear me now, because the first time I did this, my mic was disabled. And post something in the chat if you guys are out there. At least let me know that you can hear me. I'm not going to be responding to people in the chat until I'm done with the tutorial. I want to go ahead and just get the tutorial done, and then I'll answer any questions you guys might have if anybody's actually out there on the game. So let's go ahead and hit that start button. And the top lanes, you'll see there's a blinking skill shot, quote unquote. Hitting that will give you 250,000 points. When I first start the game, I will usually go for that. However, you do have the option to short plunge. The only issue with short plunging in this game is that it does trigger the spinner, thus it also triggers your ball save timer as well. Something to note about the ball save timer is when the ball is in the pops, the ball save timer will not stop when the ball is in the pops. This is something very, very important to know. Sometimes it's actually safer to just do a short plunge, try to live catch it, and just to have the ball under control. Avatar is infamous for having probably one of the worst pop bumper feeds ever. As you can see, the feed out from the pop bumpers is literally like dead center in the top of the playfield. Not quite dead center, but it's pretty close. I do have the quote-unquote fix There's a little wire that comes out that'll sort of divert the ball. AC/DC Pro also has that as well. And that kind of helps. It's not a guaranteed fix, though. It's just something to keep in mind. So, yeah, let's go for the skill shot. And the great thing about having the ball up there in the pops, I'll just go ahead and let it drain. We'll get it back to the top. Risky, though, because now my ball save's gone. But the good thing about having the ball in the pops is you might get that 2x playfield multiplier. I don't actively go for the playfield multipliers. I just let them happen as I'm playing multi-ball. I'm not specifically trying to get my 2x up. If you're getting modes stacked in the multi-ball, you're going to get some good points. And the 2x's are going to happen. So what I usually do is I go for link first, if I can hit it. So there we go. Another ball gets popped back out. And with that, now my multipliers are lit. Alright, so what do I do now? I could, what I'm probably going to do is actually prep Link. I need 2 hits on Link to start multi-ball. So I'm going to work towards starting Link multi-ball by hitting it once. Again, if I can hit it. Avatar is just a deceivingly difficult game. You look at the shots, you're like, it's just a backhand, and you brick it. You know, it's very tight shots in this game. Okay, so I hit Link once. One more hit will start multi-ball. What I want to do, though, is bring other stuff into multi-ball. I don't want to just play Link multi-ball, otherwise it's not worth that many points. So what I'm going to do is actually try to prep Valkyrie, which is the orbit mode. And you can loop pass from the right in this game. On mine, it's a little tricky. You've got to kind of do it just right. So 2 more for Bomber Battle. 1 more for Bomber Battle. Bomber Battle is the name of the mode, even though the answer it says Valkyrie. I've never actually watched Avatar the movie, so I'm not sure what Valkyrie stands for. But for those of you that are fans of the film, you probably know what it means. Okay, so now that I'm 1 shot away from starting Valkyrie, what I'm going to do is try to work towards Banshee, which is the ramp mode. Oops, not really what I wanted. Not what I wanted at all. So what I'm going to do is actually start Link now. Because I'm not going to waste my time trying to start Banshee. Banshee's actually not worth that many points. Valkyrie is the mode you want for a really good stack in multi-ball. Valkyrie is where a lot of your multi-ball points will come from. Okay, so look at that. I've actually collected 2 AWAs, 2 AWA captive balls in this session. And the first one actually added time to Valkyrie. The second one was my multi-ball add-a-ball. So that's kind of what I was explaining earlier before we started. So now when you're in these multi-balls, Link multi-ball in particular, you have to hit the side targets or the stand-up target in the center, the unobtainium target. There's a couple of other jackpots, but the only permanently lit jackpots are the side targets and the center unobtainium target. And the side targets are really good because in Bomber Battle, the side targets are also your jackpots in Bomber Battle. So not only am I getting Link multi-ball jackpots, I'm also, collecting the Valkyrie jackpots as well at the same time. So not a phenomenal multi-ball. Not a phenomenal multi-ball at all, but I mean for having 1 mode stacked into it, it's not too bad. However, I did have Link doubled, and I was actually getting close to lighting the super jackpot. And when it's doubled, the first super is going to be 6 million, then the second one I think is going to be 12 million. So getting that super times 2 in Link multi-ball is very, very good for points. Alright, so, you know, not a horrible first ball. I do want to let you guys know, it sounds like I hear thunder outside, so I'm crossing my fingers the power doesn't go out. But, Yeah, so let's go ahead and just start over. The great thing about Link is it's not really hard to progress towards it again. It just takes an extra hit each time. So let's work towards prepping Link again. And let's go ahead and try to get our bonus axe and our ×2 lane. That was bad. Okay. So let's go ahead and just... I'm going to work towards Bomber Battle again, just to kind of show you guys what a decent scoring game's like without getting to the final battle. And as you can see, it's good to try to live catch it on that full orbit shot. You can also try to loop pass, or you can try to flail it. The only problem with flailing it is its avatar, and if you miss, you could drain pretty quickly. As you can see, I'm kind of flailing right now. Shots are so tight. Shots are so tight that it's very, very easy to brick in this game. So there you go. That was a death save, and I'm mainly just doing that because I'm recording. So how many shots do I need on the Link? And unfortunately, the heads-up display does not tell you. So I'm going to assume it's one shot away. No, now it's one shot away. I thought about it because the first time you start it, it's 2 shots to start it. Okay, one more for Banshee. Again, Avatar, deceivingly difficult. Very tight shots, so you've got to be really, really accurate in this game. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and actually just do a short plunge this time. And my goal is to start Banshee, start Valkyrie again, start Link. Once I'm in Link, work towards starting Amp Suit. Because as you can see, the Amp Suit bank is down. I can work towards Amp Suit while I'm in Link Multi-Ball. Link Multi-Ball is very easy to start. Amp Suit is much more risky because anytime you hit a target up here, it activates the magnet. The magnet grabs the ball and throws it wherever it wants to. Sometimes it just grabs it and sort of just softballs it to you. You know, it sort of lobs it to you nice and slow. Other times it grabs it and shoots it straight down the middle. So, you know, if you're in, say, competition, what are you going to do in this situation? Are you going to go for Amp or are you going to go for Link and then Amp? You're going to go for Link and then Amp. So let's go ahead and short plunge that. Alright, Banshee's going. One more for Bomber Battle. Alright, Bomber Battle's going. That was a bad loop pass, but okay. So I'm going to just post-transfer over to the left. Post-transferring works pretty well in this game. It's a John Board game, so post-transferring usually works pretty well on his playfield layouts. And we're going to go ahead and start Link Multi-Ball, just like that. So, first thing you want to do in Link Multi-Ball is recapture a ball in Link. That'll add a ball, and there we go. So now my Amp Suit's ready as well. I'm going to actually save that. Kind of cheating again, but for tutorials purposes, it's okay. And that was a bad example. Because what I really wanted to do was bring Amp Suit into it, but I failed. So we'll go ahead and maybe try to do some other things here. Try to get seeds going. So Seeds is ready. Extra ball's lit. Let's collect that. Or we can just flail. Alright, Seeds is now running. So what I'm going to try to do is start Amp Suit now that I've got it ready and I've got Seeds going. Nice little tight backhand, but it's totally doable. Remember, Seeds is a switch-based mode, so having all those balls in the tops is actually a really good thing if I want to complete Seeds. Got the extra ball, look at that. Okay, so something to note here. Remember, when you're in each multi-ball, you can actually progress towards the other multi-ball while you're in that multi-ball. So I could go for my Amp Suit jackpots. What I really want to do is try to prep Link at the same time. Just like that. So now, it thinks I have a ball captured in Link, even though I'm in Amp Suit multi-ball. But if you only have 2 balls in play, it's going to pop the ball back out. So 3 more hits for Link multi-ball, and it just drops it back to me. So let's just try to get that going. 2 more hits for Link multi-ball. 1 more hit for Link multi-ball. Check that out. We got Link multi-ball going again on top of Amp Suit. Added another ball thanks to recapturing the ball on Link. Alright, now the Amp Suit Super's lit. So we're going to go ahead and go for that. And missed. And I also need 4 more hits to like the Link Super. Alright, so I got 1 Super on Amp Suit. If I want to get my insert completely lit, I need to hit it again. Bricked. Let's try to backhand it. Got it! Check that out. Alright, so now what I want to do is try to get Link. One more for Link. Okay, so the side targets are your jackpots in Link multi-ball, along with a few other random shots, but the important ones are your side targets. So since I have a Cradle here, I can just backhand 1 ball into this last jackpot. Just like that. And now my Super's lit for Link. So the question is, how am I going to get... I want to separate the balls in order to do that well. That's a good way to do it. Backhand it up, just like that. And the best way to do it from the right flipper is post-transfer it over and backhand it back up. Just like that. Terrible. And that was actually a major mistake because if you don't collect the Super Jackpot in time, you've got to do all your jackpots over again on Link to collect it. So the last thing I want to do here is if I want to try to get to, say, the final battle on this ball, what I need to do is try to work towards my Navi scoring. And that's really the last thing I need for the final battle. However, if I drain, I haven't completed Link, Banshee, or Seeds, so I'm going to have to restart those modes again just to get the inserts lit. I'm really surprised Seeds didn't get completed when I was in Amp Suit, because I had a lot of balls in the pops. But that's why you also want to be pumping the spinners when you've got seeds running to get those switches out of the way. So Navi, I don't even think I've started once. So Navi's going to be difficult, but we'll try it. And it looks like we're not doing Navi, and we're probably not going to get to the final battle now either. That was ball 3. I do have an extra ball. But I've got to start Banshee again. I've got to start Link again. I've got to start Seeds again. I've got to hit the Navi targets 4 times, 5 times potentially. I've got to complete the Navi fast scoring again, or hurry up mode again. And then I've got to, it's just a lot of work, and so I'm probably not going to get to final battle right now. 68 million, really solid game though. Granted, I did death save a couple of times. Really one time that actually counted. You're not going to be able to do that in competitive play, so really this score, I'd technically still be on, probably be on ball 3 right now with 20 million points and still trying to prep modes to stack into multi-balls. So again, Avatar is a tough game. You guys have already seen the ball drain many times, but we'll go ahead and just play this one out. What I am going to do is try to progress towards the final battle anyway. Again, it's Avatar. It's kind of a crapshoot sometimes, but we'll give it a shot. If I can get the ball back down. Maybe we won't give it a shot, see? I could have actually saved that. I was looking at it, and I think I could have slap saved it, but whatever. That's Avatar free. 70 million. I really can't complain about that score. So let me go ahead and give it one more game, and then I'll sort of open up the chat for questions if anybody's actually out there. I don't know if anybody is. And so let's do this. So I'm going to short plunge it. Rather than taking the skill shot. The skill shot's only worth 250,000 points. It doesn't really, that doesn't really add up that much over the course of the game. And what I want to do is, my goal is going to be to get to final battle this time. So I want to bring as many modes as I can into a multi-ball and have my biggest chance for actually completing those modes. So I've got the Navi Hurry Up mode ready. I am 2 more away from Bomber Battle. And that's it. That's Avatar for you. And this is actually, what you're seeing here is why I think a lot of people actually didn't really care for this game when it was new. Because this game is extremely, extremely draining. And that's also why I short plunge sometimes. When you put the ball into the pops, you're really leaving it up to the game in terms of the kind of feed you get. When you short plunge it, you have a much higher chance of getting the ball under control. So I don't really care about the multipliers because those are going to come during multi-ball. And you're going to be playing a lot of multi-ball in this game if you do it right. And I don't really care about, you know, just the bonus X or even the pop-upper points. The pop-upper points can get pretty decent. The pops can max out at 20,000 points if there's enough action. So, you know, 5 hits is 100,000 points. And with mine, the balls will hit up there 20 or 30 times. You can get a nice chunk of points when the balls are in the pops, at least in single ball play. One little detail I didn't mention is when you're in multi-ball, or if you're in certain modes, the pop-uppers always drop back down to 3,000 points, and they stay at a flat 3,000 points. So you can't really play multi-ball and send the balls into the pops for good points. You can only do that in Final Battle, where the pops are capped at 25,000 points, and they never lower or rise. And so, you know, sending balls into pops in final battle can actually increase your score pretty quickly, but not in any other point in the game. So let's short plunge. That's better than the ball going straight down the middle or going to straight to the left out lane. All right, Banshee's going. Now this probably wasn't the best idea because I started these modes without actually even locking a ball on link yet, so that's not good. So basically what's going to happen is the time's going to tick down on these modes, and I'm going to spend time just locking balls. But fortunately I do have AWA lit, so what I want to do is try to get AWA going, and I do have the Navi fast scoring going too, or the Navi hurry-ups going. Let's add time first. Time's added. So I've got Banshee, Valkyrie, and Navi going. Added time to all of them. Now I'm in Link multi-ball. So let's try to get Navi going, or try to finish Navi. Missed the out of ball. So that was a poor play. Haven't completed any of my modes. So what I'm going to do is just try to hit Banshee over and over. At least try to complete that. If you do a full left orbit shot, a lot of times you can just flail from the right flipper and give it a nice pop-up, and the ball will just fly up that Banshee ramp. So, let's see if I can demonstrate that. It's not really working, but alright, so now I've got fast scoring going with nothing else going. And so what I'm going to do is just try to hit the spinners. Okay, well we got a ball up in the pops now, so that's fine. Try to get some switch hits there. Now when the ball is in the pops, while it doesn't stop your ball save from turning off, it does stop mode timers, so that's something really important to know as well. Add time. Time has been added. We need 61 more switch hits. So again, spinners are a really good way of doing that. Alright, so we've completed seeds. So I'm going to let seeds time out. What I'm going to try to do is start Navi, even though I've got Amp Suit ready. Because again, my goal is to try to get the final battle. Probably not going to happen now because I'm on ball 3. It's very tough to do it on one ball. It's definitely possible, but I should say it's tough to do it when the pressure's on at this point. I don't know about you guys. Whenever I'm on ball 3 and I've got to do really big things, it doesn't usually pan out for me. The pressure gets to me. So I actually just need... I need that right orbit. Got it. I'm going to go ahead and try to start Amp Suit. Got it. I completed Navi scoring. Okay. So now all I have to do is complete another Navi target bank, and that'll start Navi multi-ball. And it looks like I've got Link going on top of Amp Suit, on top of Valkyrie, on top of Banshee. So Not a bad position to be in terms of scoring points. But my goal, again, is final battle. It's not so much scoring points here. But if I've got all this stuff going, I might as well play it out. Got the out of ball for Link. Got the out of ball again on the AWA, cap the ball. Banshee is now completed. Link Super is ready. Got it. Got it. So we collected the Link Super Jackpot. That was a lot of points right there. So what I'm trying to do is see if I can collect an extra ball of some kind. Because I'm actually in a really good position now. If I can get an extra ball, and if I drain, all I need to do is complete Amp Suit. Do it. Alright, that's one super for Amp Suit. Alright, so that countdown, if you guys could hear it, you might not have been able to. The countdown was actually for one of my modes going. So now all I've got is Link and Amp Suit running together. Ah, so close to the super. It's a very, very tight shot. It's difficult. Ooh, got it. Very, very nice. So let's see if I can get some more pops. Or just more switches in general. Okay, got AWA again. No extra ball though. Pops are maxed. Don't really care about max pops. I want extra ball. Alright, that's it. Okay. No extra ball, so now what I need to do is try to complete another Navi target bank. And let's see if I can do that. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Come on, flailing, work for me. There we go. And that's what happens when you need one major thing left to get to your big wizard mode. Is you start freaking out, you start missing shots. So what I'm going to do is try to just play this very, very slowly. Now for those of you guys watching on YouTube here, if you're subscribed to my channel, you've probably seen this already. I've uploaded a video of me doing this. So, final battle is now lit on the center target. And I got it. Flippers die. And it starts kicking balls back out. So now I need to hit a certain amount of switches to activate my unobtainium jackpot. Standard switches, like your spinners and whatnot, they're worth one switch point. However, if you hit the ramps, if you hit the orbits, you actually get awarded 5 switches. So my favorite way for building up my switch count is hitting the orbits, getting those orbits. Because not only do I get the spinners, I also get the 5 count switch hits thanks to the orbit shots. So let me get control here. Okay. So like I was explaining earlier, if you hit the out lanes, it actually raises your unobtainium jackpot value. So right now it's worth 15 million. However, I've got it double. I've got a 2 times multiplier on it. So either what I could do is try to intentionally drain one of these balls. Doesn't always work. Or I can just collect the 30 million. Every time you collect an unobtainium jackpot, it adds a ball. And ball save comes back on. So realistically what I should do is probably just collect it. 30 million. If I had a times 3, that would have been 45 million. Oh, I got an out ball from the AWOD. What's really cool about Final Battle is every single switch hit is worth 25,000 points. And, you know, that doesn't sound like much, but that actually adds up really, really quickly. So if I can't intentionally drain, sometimes what I'll do is I'll just pound those spinners over and over. But I did intentionally drain, so that's good. That actually raised my base unobtainium jackpot value. And so when I hit the target, it's going to be 30 million. And if I can hit the other one, it'll be 45 million. No, 60 million? I don't remember. We'll just collect it as is. Extra balls lit. So yeah, basically what happens is target's worth 5 million by default. And then you get 10 million and it raises the value to 15. And then, yeah, and so that's when I can double it for 30. Now I think the next one might be worth more than 10. It might be worth 15, so that'll raise the value up to 30, which I can double for 60 on the unobtainium target. I'm just going to collect it. Special's lit. Again, I think I already did special once. Give me some pops. Ah, it's not giving me that many pops. There we go. I don't think I have any more Till monies left, so I don't want to shake it too much. Unobtainium targets now lit again. There we go. drain. Gotta drain. It's another 30 million. I could be trying to go for the other unobtainium target, but really, it's probably not worth it. That was a very small jackpot, but I decided to go ahead and just try to get the outer ball instead of risking it. I guess the magnet's still activated up there. That's cool. Ramp shots are not bad. You get five switch hits from a ramp. Only in the final battle, of course. If you're doing seeds, fast scoring, and normal play, everything is just worth one switch hit in that mode. Need 20 more switches. Alright, there we go. Let's see if we can drain one. Or not, we'll just take it. That was still a very, very good final battle. That would have actually been some really, really nice bonus. I probably would have had 15, 20 million in bonus right there, which I should have thought about that. I am actually getting close to beating my own GC. So let's see what the GC is. I don't think it's going to happen now. No, I was still 100 off. So, but yeah, that's the final battle, guys. We made it. I wasn't expecting to make it to the final battle. And really fun wizard mode, if you ask me. If you're a controlled player, there's a lot of stuff you can. Well, you can keep it going forever, seemingly. Although the base switch hits required in order to get your unobtainium jackpot lit keeps rising and rising and rising. So it takes longer and longer and longer to get each jackpot. And if you go at it from a certain attack angle, like I'm gonna milk the left spinner over and over and see if I can get my switch hits up that way, or I'm going to go ahead and go the right orbit route and feed the pops. It's kind of an interesting dynamic, and I like the wizard mode. So let's go ahead and just play out the rest of the game and see what we can do. I am probably not going to get to the final battle again, although it has happened before. I think my GC was actually 2 final battles in one game. So for me doing about 375 on one final battle, really, really, really solid game. So. As you can see, it's 20,000 a pop. I'm going to collect a rock. I've probably got a ton lit. Extra balls lit again. Oh! And that's it. So that's going to be our last game for Avatar. Avatar is a really fun game. It's not the deepest stern game out there, but it's challenging. And you do have to really know what you're doing if you want to put up really big points in the game. Ooh, Final Battle Champion, nice. I wasn't sure if I beat the old one or not. Avatar is a brutal game, but if you want to get good points, even without getting to the final battle, you need to know what the modes do. You need to know how to stack the modes together. And you need to know what order to stack the modes together. And something I actually did not mention while I was playing is if you want to bring every mode in together at once, you have to prep your Navi targets to where they're flashing. They're all like pulsing together. If you don't get them to where they're pulsing, if you start any mode, Banshee, Valkyrie, or Seeds, it blocks you out from starting Navi scoring. And likewise, if you don't start Seeds first, if you start Banshee or Valkyrie, you won't be able to start Seeds. So if you want to do the ultimate stack, which is get Seeds, Valkyrie, Amp, Link, Banshee, and Navi all stacked together at the same time, all 6 modes, you need to do them in a very specific order. So you need to prep Navi to where it's ready. And then you need to start Seeds, start Banshee or Valkyrie in either order, then start the other one, and then start Navi. And then from there, with those 4 modes together, you can start your Link or Amp suit, preferably Link because it's the easy one. And then from Link, work towards starting Amp suit, and you can have all the modes going at the same time. And yeah, Avatar is a really fun game in that regard. Like, the stacking is nice. The only problem with Avatar is that there's not really much more other than that. There's no mini wizard mode for collecting all your characters. Collecting these characters here actually does nothing. It's actually not in the code, from what I understand. So yeah, you got all these inserts that actually don't do anything. And there's really no award for actually physically completing every single mode. So you can actually get the final battle without actually completing your modes. All you have to do is just start your modes. Navi's the only one you kind of get you have to get halfway on to light the insert, basically. So there's no award for actually grinding out every mode and actually physically completing every mode, and that's kind of a shame to me. So to me, Avatar has some missed potential. They could have had some kind of mini wizard mode for the characters. They could have had another wizard mode if you actually complete all the modes. And hell, they could have had something else other than Final Battle on top of Final Battle if you completed all and you got all your characters done. Like, a lot of potential missed, I think, for this game. And I'm surprised Stern never went back and did a code update for it, because it seems like they actually manufactured a lot of these machines. It was on the line from 2010 through 2013. This specific machine is probably one of the last ones they ran of Avatar. From late, actually mid 2013, August 2013. So, still a really fun game though. Maybe not a game I can recommend in a super tiny collection like mine. I have a very small space, and so I can only have a handful of games. But it is still, I think, actually a very good game for what it is. And if you have a large collection, or if you see it on location, I think it's definitely worth playing or having. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. And for those of you guys on YouTube watching this after the fact, thanks again for watching. If you have any questions, post in the comments below. For those of you guys on live stream, and if anybody's out there, if you have any questions, go ahead and shoot me some questions. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. So if you have any questions out there, just feel free to post them, and I'll respond.